Ha! Hey everyone, how's it going? Hassan here. This is a very special video. It's a two-part special video on Disney Infinity, as you can see right here. So, first of all, I apologize. I don't look the best. It's the weekend, and that's usually when I'm really lazy and I don't shave all weekend, so I have a big beard growing. But you know what? I said this is the perfect time to do it because Disney Infinity 2.0 has released. I have completed my collection of figures for Disney Infinity 1.0, or the original Disney Infinity game, basically. And I've gotten most of the power discs, so I want to do a video of my entire collection. That's part one. Part two is I just bought everything from Disney Infinity 2.0 that released, except the power discs. I got a couple of those packs, but I got all the figures and everything, so I want to do an unboxing of all of that. So part one is my Disney Infinity collection, and part two is my unboxing of all of the launch Disney Infinity 2.0 Marvel Superheroes items as well. So let's get right to it. Here is my Disney Infinity collection. Enjoy. Alright, so let's get up close with all of my Disney Infinity collection. First up, so here is the game itself. I have the Wii U game. So here it is. Is it in here or not? Yeah, it is. So here's the Wii U game. If you have a Wii U, you can actually download this game for free, I believe. But of course, you'll have to get the figures to be able to use it. But you can actually get a digital copy of the game as well, so you don't actually have to use the disc, which is actually pretty nice. But here is the game, and it looks pretty cool. And so one thing with the game is, first up I'm going to show you the power discs. You can collect power discs, basically. And they give you different power-ups or items or different abilities, and I have a whole bunch of them. I actually don't have every single power disc. I have most of them, because I like the concept of power discs. I just don't like how they're in blind packs, because you're spending all this money, and you never know if you're going to get, you know, the same ones or not, and chances are you probably will, and it's such a pain to get. So I really don't like that, especially for the price that they are. But I managed to complete my collection. I just want to show you, here's one of the binders I have. Series 1, so they released, and it has the following discs in it. I actually didn't fill it out in this binder, but I just wanted to show you the binder itself. Because then they actually had some Toys R Us exclusive discs as part of Series 1. So they had a separate binder, a Toys R Us exclusive binder, that had all of Series 1 power discs as well as the exclusives mixed in. So that's what I kind of filled out in here. So it's a whole mix of the actual ones from Series 1 and some of the Toys R Us exclusive discs as well. Although, I guess I'm missing this one. I'd have to double check. I might actually have it, but I just didn't put it in the binder. I'm not sure. But there's a whole bunch of discs, and they look pretty cool, and that one as well. Some of them were probably Toys R Us exclusives that I must have missed, or after a while I just kind of gave up because it just became so annoying. And then some of these discs is like a couple dollars each, and it's such a pain. But Series 1, I have quite a bit of the discs right there, almost all of them. I think I have all of Series 1, but not all of the Toys R Us exclusives. Series 2, I actually managed to find a special binder that they had online that came with all of the discs, and that was fantastic. That's exactly the type of thing that I want to see. So if you open this up, this actually has all of the discs. And it's really cool because there's so many Disney franchises represented, many of which they're just not, you know, popular enough to have figures or anything really, but you can actually have power discs for them, which is amazing. So there's so many classic Disney things, like you got Peter Pan, but you also got recent stuff as well. Like, I forget the name of the movie there, but it's like that stop motion movie. It came out relatively recently, so you got like old and new basically all mixed in. You got like the Muppets in there, so all kinds of Disney. It's pretty amazing, and I love the look of the binders as well with all the characters there. It's pretty cool. So I like that. I think that's pretty neat. So there's that. Series 3, I only have a couple of the discs. I actually have a bunch of extras of different things that I've saved to kind of trade with people. I love these power disc capsules. These are amazing because you can you can lock them in place, carry it around pretty easily, or you can open this up, slide it out, and ta-da, you have your discs easy to use. If they're in the binder, they're not easy to use in the actual game, but storing them in here is definitely very handy. So this was like the regular one, basically, the red one that they had. But they released other ones. Like, I can't remember. One of these, I think Silver, was it a Toys R Us exclusive? I have Silver and Gold. One of them was a Best Buy exclusive. I don't remember which is which. Or maybe one of them was a Toys R Us exclusive, I think, and it came with some special discs or two. Something like that. But, you know, it got a whole mix of stuff. The rare and easy to find stuff, just all mixed in. But it's really cool to have, you know, these capsules. And then here's the gold one as well. So definitely pretty neat to have these. They're very handy for the power discs, you know, if you want to collect and do all that. So like, yeah, like Wall-E, Toy Story, Phineas and Ferb, like whole different ranges of Disney stuff. That's what I love about Disney Infinity. There's so much Disney stuff in here from all different areas of Disney, which is absolutely amazing. So without further ado, let's get to the figures themselves. So a lot of figures here. First up, I'll kind of grab the little playset pieces in the back here. So these playset pieces allow you to play the adventure modes in the game. Like there's different stories and gameplay for certain franchises. So the one that came with Disney Infinity for Wii U, the actual game, was this playset piece, and it came with The Incredibles, Monsters University, and Pirates of the Caribbean. All three of those on one little playset piece because you actually got a figure from each of those with the starter set. So that's the little playset piece. So you put this on the base and then whichever character from that respective series to play in that adventure mode. And then some of the other packs came with more of those modes. Like this one came with Cars. So this is for Cars. There's different special, you know, gameplay and then a bit of a story and everything to it for the Cars series. You got one for Toy Story. And all these playset pieces look pretty cool too. You know, they represent their specific franchises, and they're pretty neat looking. I think it's pretty cool. Nice little concept there. And then you got one for the Lone Ranger. I never did see that movie, but you know, I got the figures just to kind of collect them all. And then what you see here is all of the Disney Infinity Series 1 figures. For the most part, I believe. You know, like Mickey Mouse, I think before the game released, there was like another variant of Mickey Mouse that like, I think his hat didn't have stars on it or something. It was like a special, it was given away at some event or something. So I didn't bother getting that because it's the exact same thing aside from the figure looks a little different and the price was just too much. But Mickey Mouse, he's, of course, you gotta have Mickey Mouse, you know, so that was awesome to have. And he's like based on, you know, the Sorcerer Mickey. And it's pretty awesome. So I really do like, you know, that look for him, and it's a really cool figure. I love the quality of these figures. I actually have not played the game too much. Like I played it a decent amount when I first got it, and then as I've gotten some of these figures, I've tried them in the game a little bit, but I haven't gotten a chance to play too much into it. But the figures themselves are just worth it. Like they're so good. I love the figures themselves. They're amazing. So that's Mickey Mouse right there. So you also have, so let's grab the ones from The Incredibles. So you got Mr. Incredible right here. Looks awesome. And they're, you know, all their proportions, like he's nice and bulky and muscly and powerful, and he's a lot of fun to play as in the game too. So really cool. They all, like, the bottom of the thing has like, this has some road on there, and like, as some of the other ones you'll see, they're related to the series, so it's kind of neat to see. And he has his whole family, so you got Dash right here, who's pretty cool. It's really cool to have the entire, you know, group of them all together as well. Really awesome. You got Mrs. Incredible. Really cool. Also pretty fun to play as in the game. Again, the quality of these figures is great. You got Violet. She's cool with her force fields and stuff as well. So they all have their little unique style to them and everything. And it's pretty sweet to see. But you also got Syndrome, villain. And he's also pretty cool. You know, so you don't just get the heroes, you can play some of the villains in the game, which is pretty sweet. And you can use these in the respective adventure mode, or I forget what it's called exactly, maybe that's the name for it. Or in Toy Box mode, where you can build your own worlds or play other people's worlds. You can use any of these figures, so that allows for so much replayability, and it's amazing. Toys R Us also has these exclusive figures, and they are I believe they call them crystal figures, but they're kind of see-through essentially. And these are cool because when you put them on the base lights up. So especially if you're playing in like a dark room, the figure kind of lights up, which is actually pretty sweet. So in the game itself, these are actually, they'll level up faster and everything, and I believe they look like crystal-y or something in the game too. So they actually do have a different look in the game, and they're like a more powerful version of, like he's a more powerful version of the regular Mr. Incredible figure. And these figures, of course, store the data in the game, so the more you play it, the more your figure will gain experience, so you can actually, it'll save all that information, and I think that's pretty awesome. So I love the crystal variants. I collected them all as well. Of course, you got cars. So you got Lightning McQueen right here. And these figures also look great. Lots of great detail on them too, you know? It's really cool that they came up with a nice style that fits all the figures together. Like you got people from Mickey Mouse to Mr. Incredible to Lightning McQueen, and they all kind of fit together somehow, which is amazing. So I really like these figures. I think they're really cool. So awesome stuff. You can't have Lightning McQueen without Mater. So again, just the detail on them and just the styling. I love the style that they went for with these figures. It's just awesome right there. So really cool stuff. I mean, look at this. This is awesome. You even have like the little bumper plate, the A113, and Pixar fans will know what that reference is too. So just, it's amazing the detail that they went into with these guys. Because really, they're mainly for the game. You know, they could have picked whatever. In fact, they may not have even had needed figures technically, although that wouldn't be as fun. But just as display pieces alone, they're awesome. This is, I believe, Holly is her name. So she's also from the Cars franchise, of course. So she's pretty cool. And, oh gosh, I totally blanked on his name. Doesn't say on there. He is from from Cars 2. Oh my goodness, I can't remember his name, but he was pretty cool in the movie, and he's pretty fun to use in the game as well. So pretty cool. So they got some from Cars 1 and 2, and of course there's the Crystal variant Lightning McQueen right here. This one also looks especially awesome when he's on the base and kind of glowing, because some of the other figures, like he's standing up, so the light, you know, for Mr. Incredible might only touch like the bottom part of him, but the Lightning McQueen's kind of down on the ground a little bit, so he actually glows even more, and he looks pretty cool. So definitely a nice little, you know, collectible to have. So pretty awesome. So we also got, from Monsters University, we got Sully. So they're based off of the Monsters University version of the characters. So the younger versions from college. But he's pretty cool. You know, I like the design that they went for, the stylization to fit the Disney Infinity game. Just great stuff, great stuff. And you can't have Sully without Mike Wazowski. There we go. Also great, again, these figures are just awesome, and so much fun to play as in the game. He's even got his little braces thing right there. Yeah, really cool, really cool. And you got Randall. Looking very sneaky. So you do got the good guys and the bad guys, which is really cool to have. Great stuff. And there's a crystal variant, Sully, which also is pretty cool. So at least in the US, these are Toys R Us exclusive. I think in other countries there might be different ways of getting the crystal variants, but that's how it is in the US. Then you got like the one-off figures as well, like Rapunzel. So she doesn't have an adventure mode or anything, but they decided to give her a figure, which is pretty cool. I like that they, you know, mix it up. You get all sorts of different franchises involved. So she's got her long hair, of course, and yeah, I mean, great detail on the figure as well. I mean, all these figures just look awesome. So, pretty cool. That's Rapunzel. From WreckIt Ralph, we got Vanellope. She looks awesome. So again, great detail there, and you can see like the bottom here is like a little piece of chocolate or something, and you got like little sprinkles and stuff in there. So a nice attention to detail with even the base for the figures as well. She's got all her, you know, stuff in her hair and everything. Really cool. Great stuff. And I absolutely love the WreckIt Ralph figure as well. He just looks great. I mean, just there's something like this figure is just perfect. Just his proportions, his blocky hand. I mean, just the way he is looks so faithful to the actual character, and it just looks amazing. Like, he is a great display piece right there. Really cool. The hair, I mean, just every little bit of him. I really do love the figures. This is the main reason I actually buy this stuff. Not for the game. The game is awesome. So much fun, and there's so much you can do with it. So much customization and everything. I just don't have as much time for the game itself. I love the figures, to be honest with you. I feel like that's how it's going to be with the amiibos for Nintendo. I love the figures. I'll use them in Smash Brothers and other games, but I love the figures. So cool looking. Buzz Lightyear. Of course, you got to have Toy Story. So he looks pretty cool. Awesome stuff, awesome stuff. And we got Woody. And he just, oh man, I love the style they went for. Like, all these guys, they took those franchises and stayed true to who they were, you know, as a series, but stylized them so that they'll fit in with the other Disney Infinity characters. And I love what they did, you know, with these guys. Like, you even have like the little markings where his pants would be sewed together and stuff, and just, I mean, just look at that, the face, his little, you know, pose that he has. It's just classic stuff right there. This is just great. And they had Jessie as well. Again, great stuff right there. Great detail. Really cool stuff. I mean, I love it. And they had a crystal variant of Buzz Lightyear. So here's that. He's actually not too much crystal because he's got a lot of the green and everything there, but still pretty cool to have. Definitely a neat little, you know, variation there. So that's still pretty cool. Then we got Jack Sparrow. Captain Jack Sparrow, I should say, from Pirates of the Caribbean. So much great detail on him as well. I mean, they really capture the essence of Johnny Depp. Just his pose, the face, and everything. I mean, this is just awesome. He's got a nice little sword. Oh man, I love this, the style they went for with these guys. Look at that. That is just great. That is just great. We got Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean as well. So they brought that villain for this franchise. So he's got his little sword or dagger or whatever, and his little, I love his hand, like his little octopus hand kind of curves around it there. His face and everything is so menacing. Great stuff. Really cool. We got Barbossa as well. Barbossa, he's got a great facial expression. He's got his foot on the little barrel there, and he's got that darn monkey as well from the series. And I love his look. Like, the monkey's always like going crazy, and just the way they stylize the monkey on the figure is just awesome. I love the monkey. This is great. He's got his sword as well. Just great detail all around. Really cool stuff. And they have a crystal variant, Captain Jack Sparrow. So that's pretty cool. Mostly, I guess, all his clothes are kind of the crystal part there, except for his little boots. So yeah, pretty cool. Crystal variants are always fun. We have the Lone Ranger figures as well. So you got this guy. I never saw the movie, so I'm not really familiar with these characters, but this is the guy that Johnny Depp played in the movie. So, pretty cool. So it's interesting to have two different, you know, Johnny Depp figures there. But they, you know, they made them interesting. And, if I can put him back in there. The actual, I assume this is the Lone Ranger. So they have him in there. And again, I'm not really familiar with this franchise, so I can't really say too much. It's, you know, still a decent figure. But I'm sure people that have seen the movie and heard of the franchise before might appreciate it more. And there's a crystal variant of the Lone Ranger as well. So that's pretty cool. Then we have, of course, from the movie Frozen, we have Elsa. And I love this figure. This is great. The movie Frozen was awesome. And they actually, like, would release these figures, some of the other ones, like this one specifically, to coincide with, like, the movie release. So that in a way, they didn't make a Frozen video game. They just made characters from Frozen to play in Disney Infinity, which is actually kind of nice. You know, I think that that's a pretty neat way of marketing. And I know that, you know, I went out and bought the figures and then saw the movie the same day. So it's definitely really cool. And they have, like, a little snowflake image as the base right there. But great figure, looks really cool, and a lot of fun to play as in the game too. And Anna, also from Frozen. So pretty cool that they included her too. Oops, and I'm dropping her. She's got the rope and everything as well. And even the piece of hair that turned white. So great detail and everything. You know, lots of great detail on the figure. Then we have Jack Skellington from The Nightmare Before Christmas. Really cool. I remember I think he released a GameStop first or something, and they had like a poster for him as well, which looked pretty cool. But again, it's one of those one-off characters, just like Rapunzel, where there's not much more to it except, hey, you can use them in the toy box mode now. So they're really bringing so many different aspects of Disney to this game and making it truly diverse. So really cool that they did that. And I look forward to seeing what else they do in the future. And last but not least, we have the series Phineas and Ferb. So we got Perry the Platypus from that series. So this is from Disney Channel. So they're kind of bringing us that aspect to Disney Infinity, the Disney Channel series. Pretty cool. And we got Phineas as well. No Ferb, and I'm kind of surprised about that. Maybe they'll release Ferb later on. I would have thought they would have Phineas and Ferb together, you know? So that was a little surprising to me. But maybe he'll come down the line. Still a great figure. And there's a crystal variant of Perry the Platypus as well, which is pretty great. So yeah, that is basically it. That is what you're seeing right here is Disney Infinity. The first, version of the game, basically. Disney Infinity 2.0 is now out in stores. It just came out. But these are all the figures from the first game, and you can probably still find all, or at least most of them, in stores now. So if you like any of these figures, check your local stores. Toys R Us, Target, Best Buy, Walmart. Wherever they sell the video games, they might have these figures as well. GameStop, there's a bunch of places. So definitely keep an eye out for these figures. I love them. Even if there's only certain ones you want, get the main game. Download it for free on Wii U, or whatever other system you have. I don't know if it's available as a free download or if you have to purchase it. And then buy, if you just want the Toy Story ones, buy that pack, So this gives you the freedom to pick and choose what you want. If you really don't like the Lone Ranger, you've never heard of it or whatever, you don't have to buy those. I collected them all, but that's what's great about Disney Infinity is you can pick whichever ones you want, and it really makes it so much fun because there's a lot of variety here, and it is great. So I'm loving it, and I am very excited to get to Disney Infinity 2.0 Marvel Superheroes and check all of that out. So stay tuned for part 2 of my Disney Infinity special video event I don't know what I'm going to call it. Special video event sounds good enough. But this is, lots of Disney Infinity stuff on the way. So stay tuned for part 2, where I do an unboxing of all of the launch Disney Infinity 2.0 items. I can't wait for that. So here it is. If you guys have any questions, please post them in the comments below. Check out NintendoFuse.com for all your latest Nintendo news and reviews, as well as the podcast that I host for the site. We will be doing lots more Nintendo coverage in the future, so stay tuned for all of that. Check out NintendoFuse.com. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys in part 2.